Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So the judge presiding over the Mar-a-Lago seizure of documents, a whole special master issue, she refused to issue a ruling in that matter today. She said that she'll issue a ruling sometime in the future and it'll be in written form. But reporters who were on site said she appeared poised to allow the special master while also maybe making a carve out for the Department of National Intelligence to continue their review, to still assess the damage that Trump may have done with all of this. So here's why this is happening. And here's how Trump's own attorneys completely shot his defense argument right in the face, at least one of them. The government filed a response to Donald Trump's request for a special master. You guys may have seen that. And in the response, the Justice Department noted, quote, government records were likely concealed and removed. And, quote, efforts were likely taken to obstruct the government's investigation. And they confirmed previous reporting that some of the highly classified documents were found outside of the storage room. Some of them were found inside of Trump's office desk. Others were located in a container in the office. The Justice Department explained that that's how they ended up with Trump's passports. They were in the desk drawer along with some of these classified materials. They also, in this filing, released a photo which showed a bunch of the classified documents spread out on the floor. And the contents are hidden, of course, but they clearly show the level of classification, including some secret / SCI markings. That is what you guys might recall, highly sensitive material. They're known as sensitive compartmented information. Very few people are allowed to see them, and then only in the most secure of locations. And one document was marked as HCS, meaning human intelligence sources. So he's literally placing at risk or may have cost the lives of one or more people. In addition, their filing states that some of the documents were considered to be so top secret that, quote, even the FBI counterintelligence personnel and DOJ attorneys conducting the review required additional clearances before they were permitted to review certain documents. Then the filing also included the text from the custodian of records document signed by his attorney, Christina Bobb. After receiving the subpoena for the documents, Trump's team completed a thorough search for any classified materials. And so during that June meeting, they handed over 35 additional classified documents, because they had already handed over 184 classified documents to the National Archive. That was in that first 15 boxes that were collected. That was in January. And then they go, whoops, my bad. Actually, no, there's 38 more. You know, we failed to return them the first time, but we're good to go now. This is a for sure thing now. You've got it all. Nothing more to see here. Move along. In fact, the document that was signed by Christina Bobb, Trump's attorney, said that they had searched all of the boxes in the storage room. They scoured the entire property, and the letter asserted that everything was being kept in that storage room. Everything that came from the White House was in that storage room. So the question obviously is, were the attorneys lying to the FBI, or did Trump lie to them, or is everybody lying? I mean, as we all now know, the FBI found over 100 more classified documents when they searched Mar-a-Lago in August. And as I mentioned, some were in his office. So they weren't being kept in the storage facility. Who took them out? Why did they take them out? Were they trying to hide them? And then this new filing insinuates that Trump's attorneys have something to hide or that they may have taken part in the obstruction of justice. Evidently, when the FBI went to Mar-a-Lago in June, Trump's attorneys, both Evan Corcoran and Christina Bobb, refused to allow the agents to look inside of the boxes in the storage room. That's not suspicious. And it states, quote, giving no opportunity for the government to confirm that no documents with classification markings remained. So you can draw a direct line from that to the search warrant. Because if you're not going to let us look through everything, you just expect us to take your word? No, sorry, not when it comes to national security. And it disproves all of the right-wing arguments that, oh, Trump and his team tried to cooperate. All you had to do was ask. This was overkill. Bullshit. This new filing also notes that Trump world claims of executive privilege or declassification are completely bogus because they didn't start telling this fairy tale about declassification until after the search and seizure in August. The filing says, quote, neither counsel nor the custodian asserted that the former president had declassified the documents or asserted any claim of executive privilege. And the DOJ filing did a very good job of throwing his attorneys under the bus. They pointed out how long his attorneys waited before they made this special master request and how their court filing doesn't, quote, include any assertion of executive privilege by the former president. So it's looking more and more like Corcoran and Bobb are going to need to hire their own attorneys if they haven't already. And they should expect to be run over by the Trump train because he's probably pissed about their mishandling of this issue. And plus, it's Trump, right? I mean, there's no one he will not knife to save his own sorry ass. We know that. Now, the fact that everyone who works with Trump, every attorney who works with Trump ends up needing a defense attorney at some point, that's called a clue. Now, today, in response to the government's filing, Trump's attorney filed a very weak argument. They stated that the DOJ is taking part in an, quote, unjustified pursuit of criminalizing a former president's possession of personal and presidential records in a secure setting. A secure setting like his office drawer. They also argued that because these highly classified documents were in Trump's home, he has standing under which to contest the seizure of these documents and the search itself. Essentially, they're making a Fourth Amendment argument, which is ridiculous. I mean, imagine if someone goes into a bank, they steal millions of dollars, right? And the authorities find out, they obtain a search warrant, they come in, they seize the money, and then the bank robber complains about how his house was unlawfully searched and, they violated his rights under search and seizure, under the Fourth Amendment. And then he demands, oh, you have to give me the money back because it was in my home, so it's my property. It's ridiculous. I mean, they're clearly desperate. They're clearly grasping at straws. And Trump's own attorneys, as I mentioned, destroyed his lies about how he declassified all of these documents because their filing states that, quote, it would be appropriate for the special master to possess a top secret /SCI security clearance. Why? I mean, if they're declassified, why would you need the special master to have that top level security clearance? I almost feel bad for these attorneys. Almost. They're playing dress up with a pig here. That's what they're doing. They've got the lipstick on her. They've got, maybe some fake eyelashes. They put on some fancy dangly earrings. Still a pig. Still a pig. And you've got the judge now playing along. The judge is here offering tea. The judge is like, oh, Mrs. Higginsbottoms, would you like a spot of tea? Come sit at the table with me. I mean, I don't know why I made the judge English, but anyway, that's where I went with it. Don't ask. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I will let you know when and if I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.